Welcome to Mental Matrix, and this is Psychax, Better Living Through Psychology. Today's talk is titled The Way It All Ends. It's a long one, but an important one, and it's especially for the ladies. So guys, do your sisters and daughters a favor and forward this to them. They need to hear it. Let's zoom out and take a high-level look at the modern sexual marketplace. Fewer people are getting married, entering relationships, or even hooking up than ever before. All three are at historic lows. Why? There are many reasons. But as we discussed in the last episode, one of the biggest drivers is female hypergamy, combined with the fact that, in the West, young women are outperforming men. Childless women under 30 are crushing it, outpacing men in education, earnings, and nearly every measurable category. Yay, women. But here's the rub. If women still prefer to date up, and men are underperforming, relative to women, the pool of acceptable partners shrinks fast. Now remember, women are the gatekeepers of sex, and men are the gatekeepers of commitment. Since sex precedes commitment in the West, less sex leads to fewer relationships, which leads to fewer marriages. This would be easier to fix, if not for one stubborn reality. Women are still waiting for the offer. Across cultures and history, men have been expected to make the first move, whether it's, "You up? Can I buy you a drink?" or "Will you marry me?" That dynamic hasn't changed, even as women have embraced modern ideas about gender, sex, and power. And honestly, I'd love it if women took the lead sometimes. Make the plans, pay for dinner. Invite me over for a home-cooked meal. I'd be thrilled to show up and look pretty, provided, of course, you meet my standards and don't assume I'll sleep with you, because my eyes are up here. But seriously, women aren't stepping into that traditionally male role at any stage of courtship. They're still waiting for the offer. In your 20s, this doesn't feel like a problem. Offers may be pouring in, and it might seem like only a matter of time before the right one comes along. But here's where things get tricky. The game changes at 30. At 30, the average man's sexual market value, SMV, surpasses the average woman's for the first time. And since men are expected to make the same, ultimate offer, marriage or lifetime commitment to women in their 20s or 30s, that same offer becomes more expensive for a woman as she ages. In other words, if the product stays the same while SMV declines, the cost of securing a commitment goes up over time. Women who don't adapt may find themselves priced out of the market, especially if they refuse to make the first move. This is why Mick Jagger sang, "Time is on my side." For men, it often is. Before we continue, if you're finding value in this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Or hit the super thanks button and tip in proportion to the value you've received. It helps keep this channel alive. Alright, let's tie it all together. If we run this chess game out 20 moves, there are only 5 possible endgames for women. 1. Keep the high price tag. Beat the competition and secure a high-value man. 2. Lower the price tag. Beat the competition and secure a high-value man. 3. Keep the high price tag, fail to compete, and settle for a lower-value man. 4. Lower the price tag, still fail, and settle for a lower-value man. 5. Neither secure nor settle, end up unpartnered. That's it. There are no other outcomes. So which is most likely? Let's break it down. Scenario A, the 1%. Keeping your price tag high and still winning the top man. That happens maybe 1% of the time. Why? Because high-value men have endless options. Just like you wouldn't pay thousands for a handbag if you could get the same quality cheaper elsewhere. Men with options won't overpay for commitment. Scenario B, the discount. About 6% of women lower their price tag enough to snag a high-value man. Think of it like a Versace bag on sale, still desirable, but priced for a broader audience. Scenario C and D, settling. Here's where most women land, about 53%. They end up with lower value, men willing to overpay for commitment because they lack options. For many women, it's not the man they dreamed of, but it's a functional relationship. Scenario E, unpartnered. Around 25% of women, soon to be 1 in 3, remain unpartnered and childless. Some thrive in this lifestyle, traveling, earning, living fully. But for others, the fear of missing out hits hard later, especially if motherhood was never explicitly ruled out. A 2010 meta-analysis found 80% of childless women didn't actively choose it. They drifted there unintentionally. High-achieving women are most at risk here because their success, education, and age often raise their perceived price tag too high for the men they want. The takeaway: most women will end up with perfectly serviceable partners. Not bad, just not their first choice. Like buying a knockoff handbag, it holds your stuff just fine, but you still think about the Versace. The rarest outcomes are women winning the top men without lowering standards or ending up blissfully single by choice. Most women, if they want children and commitment, should recognize you'll never have a better chance than today. This has been Real Talk with Psychax. What do you think? Which endgame do you see as most likely? Let me know in the comments. And if you've made it this far, like, subscribe, and consider becoming a channel member for exclusive perks. Thanks for listening.